Hey everyone, I'm Jodi and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you've stopped by today. So have you ever looked at some of those Disney type palettes or some of the other movie themed palettes and think, gosh, I wonder if I could pull that off with my more mature skin? Are the colors too bold? And I would say absolutely yes, you can pull it off. And so this look today is from the Hocus Pocus ColourPop Gather Around Sisters palette. It's 15 shades, beautiful shades, all types of mattes as well as some highlighted but not frosted colors. And there's some bold colors, but there's also some neutral colors. And so today's look is all with this palette. I also use from that same line, this Hocus Pocus line is the Trick or Treat eyeliner. And then we added the Clever Witch lashes, and they also have Boss Witch lashes, and there's a third lash, but I didn't pick up that one. So really excited to put this look together for you for fall. If you're interested in this look, stay tuned. I also have the rest of the makeup on is all drugstore. So we're gonna, through the magic of television, take all this off, start with a blank canvas, and put it all back together with drugstore products from start to finish. So if you are interested in this video, stay tuned, and I hope you are a subscriber. If not, you can hit that subscribe button below so that you're notified of all of the tutorials and new palette reviews and everything else that we're putting together for fall, winter, spring, summer. You never know what's going to be on the channel. So I'm glad that you're here. Stay tuned. If you're interested in this look, we're going to go step by step. All right, so we are going to just jump right in, and I am really excited about this because ColourPop is a fun brand. It's a drugstore brand, and its colors have always been, I think, good and long lasting and really current. So as I said before, this one came out September 23rd, and look at those colors. I'm super excited about using these colors. And how cool is that? It's kind of orange, and it's a little bit raised, and it has some fun colors on it like Full Moon, Yellow Salem. This is the palette itself. It's really cute. It came out again September 23rd through the magic of television. Don't you wish you could do your makeup the way they like cook rolls and stuff on TV? They're like, oh, with the magic of television, these cinnamon rolls are automatically done. So my face does not get automatically done. So we're gonna do it together. The colors in this new eye palette are beautiful. It's called Gather Around Sisters, and it's a pressed powder palette. And you can see it's a really nice mix of some mattes and some shimmer colors, but not too frosty, it doesn't look like. So I'm really looking forward to using this one here is Bewitched. I think that's gonna be really pretty. And Winch, I think, will be really pretty. So I'm looking forward. This is Full Moon right here. I think that's going to be a nice one. So we're going to just go ahead and get started. Really fun palette. It also came with an eyeliner, and this came in 3 colors, and I grabbed this sort of maroon color one just because my eyes are hazel. So I thought that might look kind of nice. You can see that's a nice maroon color. Really pretty. And just real quick, you guys, I get a lot of questions about this bracelet, and this is the Victoria Emerson bracelet, and she has a whole line of bracelets. So I'll link this down below if you're interested. I love them because it's a really easy bracelet, and you don't have to match it with textures and colors and a variety of multiple bracelets to get one look. So I get DMs about this bracelet all the time, so I wanted to let you know while I don't forget. Also in this palette also in this collection were lashes. I don't usually do lashes, but we're gonna put some lashes on today. So these are 2 of the lashes that I liked. One was Boss Witch. Is that the name of it? Yes, Boss Witch Wish. Boss blah 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 blah. Boss Witch. And then these are Clever Witch. Neither of which I am, but we're gonna play one on TV today. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna get started with just obviously some foundation so I can have a good base to work from. And I am going to use the Milani Concealer and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I love this foundation. It's a good drugstore foundation. Nice, thick, but not too thick for my more maturing skin. But it covers up any of the darker circles that I get around my eyes from time to time. It covers up any redness around my nose. And I really have enjoyed using it. So if you're looking for a good drugstore foundation that is budget friendly, I would highly recommend this Milani. Another one that works really well is Revolution. Revolution this is a concealer and define. What I like about some of these drugstore foundations is they have concealer and foundation in one, which really just means it's a thicker more concentrated formula, which I love because then for our more mature skin, we don't need multiple products. We can just get it all done with sort of that foundation and that concealer all in one, and it just covers nicely. So I just would typically do that, you know, a more thicker foundation for a heavy coverage. I shouldn't say heavy coverage, a full coverage. That's really what I'm looking for. But I don't want it to look heavy or cakey. And I will just use a highlighter or a like a concealer perhaps that's in a lighter color, just to give some of that brightening that you want underneath your eyes and in any other places that you like to highlight. Sometimes I like to highlight just above my forehead, you know, right above my eyebrows. But for the most part, I just try to stay with that highlighter underneath my eyes. All right, and then I take the foundation right over my eyelids, because then I can start with sort of a neutral palette so that the color payoff is true to the color that it shows versus the color going on top of like my more purplish eye. Then you're not going to get that same color that is showing in the box. So I just try to give it my eyelids a sort of a neutral. Now I don't always use a primer on my lids. Again, I just think that that extra thick layer is just not a layer I want to give to my foundation. So I don't know about you guys, fall is my favorite time of year. So there's a couple palettes that I picked up at Ulta the other day, this being one of them. And the other one is a video that's coming up probably next week that I'm equally as excited about filming because it's fall stuff. And actually that's kind of Christmassy stuff. So this is the L'Oreal Full Wear Infallible. That line from L'Oreal, the Infallible line, I have yet to find a product that I didn't like. So if you're looking for a good drugstore line and you're somebody that likes to have the whole product line for all your products, this Infallible has been definitely a good line for me in terms of the concealer that I've used. So we're just gonna press that in. I don't like a ton of concealer, but for those of you that don't use concealer, this probably looks like a ton of concealer. So I'm filming this in the beginning of October. It's time to go get like pumpkins and start carving them. And it's a fun time of year for me and my family because we get to watch Halloween Wars and some of those Food Network channels that are all about Halloween, and then get some candles going. And it's probably more about fall for me than Halloween itself. And fall can last obviously until we do our Thanksgiving decorations, which I love. So I am getting married in about 2 weeks, a couple weeks from now when this goes up in the middle of October. And we're flying to Aspen with some family members and just gonna do something kind of intimate. And so that's been really fun to plan for that. Now I'm gonna go right to brows because I'm too excited. I wanna get to my eyes. So I'm just gonna use the Pure Eyebrow Brush, which I really like this one. I usually get these at Ulta. And again, I like it because of the thin tip and because of the brush. And so anyway, as I was trying to plan for a wedding, it was interesting that when you're in your 50s and trying to find a wedding dress for, you know, not your first wedding, and there's some that are they just don't quite look appropriate in terms of the style. They feel a little bit more like you're trying too hard, if that makes sense, or just a little too, I don't know, form-fitting maybe. It just didn't look right. And then of course I wasn't gonna wear white. And so I found a really pretty one that's being altered right now. And I'm gonna take pictures and show them to you guys and kind of put a vlog together if you're interested in seeing that. So leave me some comments in the comments below if that is something that you're interested in seeing. One of my very good friends is also the wedding planner. So we're gonna just take pictures along the way and share them with you guys. If you're looking at my eyebrows going, what in the heck is she doing? I did change my eyebrow routine not too long ago, and I'll put a video linked right above. Let me see how one of these sides it'll show up. That is gonna show you my new eyebrow routine. And really I just sort of took a page from the Fox Eye and just sort of try to kick the tail out a little bit versus having the tail come down. And that's really made a difference, I think, in the way my face looks. So anyway, there is, and this color, if you're interested, is light brown. And I really like it because it matches my root color. And you might have noticed I put a little bit, well, I didn't, but my stylist, Chelsea, who's phenomenal, put a few more low lights in it because it was just getting a little bit too blonde. So if it looks a little different, that's probably why. All right, so next I'm gonna go with the Milani, and this is a nice drugstore blush that I really enjoy a lot. And I'm just gonna put on a little bit of color because I really want the focus to be on the eyes today. Gosh, doesn't that look crazy when you do your eyebrows but not your eyes yet? That always looks so funny to me. Like that Groucho Marx guy on TV is how I'm feeling right now. So let's get those eyes done. And then I think I will add just a little bit of highlighter because why not? Because it's fall and there's never a wrong time of the year to do a highlighter, in my opinion. So we will just get a little bit of a fluffy brush, kind of light and airy. And this is the Revolution, and I did a tutorial on this. This is the Highlighter Reloaded, one of my favorite highlighters that just doesn't go too, you know, it doesn't look like I have two huge headlights shining right on my cheeks, but gives a nice little highlighted color. I don't think I'm gonna contour today. Oh, who am I kidding? Let's contour, because why wouldn't we? This is the this is a CoverGirl True Blend Undercover, and I love this color for contouring because it's a nice dark color, but it goes good with the Infallible highlighter. So you can see those two tones really sort of match well together. Let me get two colors so you can see them. And that's why I like, when I find a concealer, I try to match it with a contour stick just so that I'm on the right tones, so that it doesn't look too crazy with too many warms and then a cool and, you know, nothing else really matters. So I try to match those a little bit. And if you've watched me before, you know that I like to contour just a little bit above that receding hairline area and just blend that in nicely. It doesn't take very long, but it probably looks like an extra step, but to me it's a big payoff for this step, especially as I get a little older. It just forms my face a little bit, and I really do like, this is an Hourglass brush that I use for it, and I like it because of the denseness of the brush. So I hope you guys can see okay. I tend to look in this mirror on this side, so I know you typically can see better on this side, but it's the same. I'm doing the same thing on both sides. And if you haven't gotten comfortable with concealer yet, not concealer, but with contour, I really encourage you to give it a try because it does make a big difference in the overall professional look of your face, I guess, of your makeup look. So especially for like special occasions, if you're trying to, you know, put together a more pulled together look for a special occasion, I think a little bit of contouring can absolutely make a big difference. And then I just use whatever's left on the brush just to kind of come down through that cheekbone a little bit. And then of course my jawline, because that continues to sag despite whatever effort I put into it not sagging. All right, so far so good. Now let's get into the fun part. I'm just gonna blend that out a little bit more so that it doesn't look quite so harsh between the contour and where the foundation stops. All right, so let's get to the fun stuff, which is this eyeshadow palette. Here again is this really cool Hocus Pocus with the three sisters, and I actually have two sisters. So I won't look, we used to be like Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty. Did you guys ever do that if you had sisters? You named yourself a Disney character. I don't think these are Hocus Pocus. I don't know that I've ever seen Hocus Pocus. Yeah, Gather Round Sisters. Yeah, I have never seen it, so I don't even know who these three sisters are, but they kind of look like the Wicked Stepsisters from Cinderella. I'm gonna sound so stupid if that's exactly what they are. I will do some research so that I educate myself, but I don't think I'll name these between me and my sisters because, I don't know, maybe they won't like one of them. So I'm going to first go in with this On Toast as a transition color. It's sort of a nice medium brown orangish color. And I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush and just kind of go into a transition. Yeah, that's a really pretty light brown golden color. And I'm just gonna sort of mark where I want my eye socket to be in that transition, and I usually go a little bit above where that eye socket is just so that I give the illusion of a wider space between my eyelid and my brow bone. And so moving up that line instead of using the actual socket where my line is I go just above that a little bit to make it look like there's a little more shadow and shading in that area. And I'll do that all the way from my my brow bone all the way to the end of the corner. And we'll just kind of blend that nicely so that there is no harsh marks and sort of blur out the lines. And you can see it's a nice pretty sort of burnt orangish color. This would look really good as a dark color if you had lighter skin, and it would probably make a nice eyelid color for darker skin tones, or maybe just an outer corner color because it is a little bit more orangey, but really pretty on the brown side. All right, so that's a nice transition color just to sort of give everything where I want those transition colors to be. Next, I'm gonna go in with this sort of really burgundy Night of Frolic color. That's really a pretty color. So we're gonna go in with that and just go right on the outer corner. Let's see what that's, a nice reddish, bloody purple vampire. Yeah, it's definitely a vampire-ish color, but in the prettiest of ways. And when I use a darker color like this, you guys, I usually will just kind of mark it where it is, and then I'll go on the other side before I blend it and mark it the same, so that when it's its darkest, I can match the sides to ensure that they're pretty even in terms of placement of the product, as well as angle of it, if I'm gonna go up with it, if I'm gonna go more down with it. So then I will start to blend it once I have the raw color there, if you will. And I typically like to go just outside of my eye socket so that I'm elongating that eye area. And then I'll sort of, you know, look back and go, okay, those seem pretty even. It looks like this one's a little bit, no, it's not higher, but it looks like maybe the bottom part is a little bit higher. So I'll just kind of angle that, make sure that it's where I want it to be. And I'll use a more dense brush for that type of a placement. And then I'll just go in with a big fluffy round brush, because now we want to really blend those edges out and smooth it out a little bit. But without moving the color over the whole eyelid or the whole, you know, area up by the brow bone. We're just gonna really try to keep it right where it is, but smoke the edges and sort of blend them. I was explaining this the other day to somebody who said, you just want to soften the edges so you can't really see where the color truly starts and stops. You're just sort of making it look like a cloud and blowing out the edges so that they're just sort of blended and just sort of there. Now, if you gauge a look like this with these bold colors before you get finished, it's always gonna look a little crazy. So just bear with us as we go through this together. But don't be afraid of taking some of that darker color right over your eye socket if you want and bringing it forth. Just try not to, if you have hooded eyes, you definitely don't want to put a darker color on the lid because that just shrinks everything and makes it look farther back. But if you do not have hooded eyes and you have more of a socket or an eyelid, then you can bring this up around your eye socket just above where you put that transition color, and that just sort of gives it a nice smoky look. And then we'll do the same thing on this eye. Blending, blending, blending is the key to any good eyeshadow makeup look. And even if you put colors that you're not really sure if they're gonna work together, if you just blend them out and blend them together, more times than not, you can get it to look exactly the way that you want it. So I really encourage you to get creative with it, especially during fall. Fall's a good time for nice bold colors and time to just get a little bit more creative with your look. And as we mature, I know it's a little bit scary. I know sometimes I hesitate and I kind of go back to my signature look, which is a video I'm gonna get for you guys. But I do wanna try to keep pushing the boundaries a little bit and just never regret that I took a safe route and said, oh, I've done my makeup, you know, it looked good, but I did it the same way for 25 years. I really wanna sort of look, I don't want to look bold or crazy, but I definitely want to give it a little bit more of a variation to my look. So anyway, about this upcoming wedding in Aspen, my fiance has decided that him and his two sons are going to go skydiving the day before the wedding for sort of a, you know, sort of a little mini bachelorette party with just the two boys and him. So they're really excited about that. And I hope they have a wonderful time. I just keep thinking in the back of my mind, I hope we don't, that seems like a crazy time to be jumping out of a plane, but that's okay. They're super excited about it, so it's gonna be beautiful and fun for them. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is take a big fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in with this next color, which is Hello Salem, which is this sort of taupey color, skin tone color. And I'm gonna go right over what we just did to sort of tone that down a little bit and have it blend a little bit more into my overall look so that it will match the lip liner the eyeliner and a lipstick with this as well. And we're just gonna blow that out a little bit and again, soften all those edges. So what have you guys any plans for the holidays? We've got Thanksgiving coming up. What I really am curious about knowing is what is sort of your signature go-to holiday dish? Like what are you known for when it comes to your holidays and baking? I love making desserts, but I don't want to say I'm known for any of them. I don't make any that are requested every year that I can think of, but green bean casserole does seem to be one that people really like. So I guess if I had to say one, I would say that. But do you have a signature holiday dish that you usually make that your family or friends are really looking forward to you making this year? And if it is, what is it? I'd love to hear. Because I think sometimes we get stuck in our own cultures and forget about all the great food that other cultures have during the holidays, whether it's a Thanksgiving holiday or whatever separate holiday they celebrate. And when I learn about them, I'm like, gosh, that sounds so delicious. So I'd love to hear what kind of dish you guys are making. So we're just blending everything really nicely. And by now we've taken that Hello Salem, that neutral color, and we've just sort of helped blend all the way up to just below our brow bone so that we're giving a little bit more color to the whole lid. Now what I want to do is take a brush and some setting spray and go in with this winch. It's very silvery color, and we're gonna see what that will do right in the lower part. That's a really good color payout. And I have to say, you guys, I'm not getting fallout from these colors at all. And I think that this winch gives it a nice little highlight in the corner of my eye. So I'm just gonna highlight that a little bit and pull it about over my eyelid to about halfway. Right about like that. Okay, that looks good, I like it. Isn't it funny how in your mind you start out with a certain makeup look and then by the time you're done, it's nowhere near what you thought it was gonna be? Now I want to take a little bit of this full moon. I'm just taking a nice fluffy brush and going up here to this full moon color and go above my brows so that I can kind of highlight that a little bit more and blend those colors all together and pull that brow bone forward just a little bit more. There are so many fun color palettes. There's a Simpson one that Revolution came out with just this week, the first week of October, that looked really fun. Unfortunately, I got to Ulta before they had the display set up and the lady's like, I don't even know which box that's in. So I waited a little while for her to go look, but the store was getting busy. So I said, it's no problem, I can come back. But that one looked really fun. It had lots of bold colors in it if you like those greens, and there were some reds in there, I believe, maybe even a yellow or two, but it was really pretty Simpson colors if that's kind of your thing. So there, we're just gonna pull that out a little bit, and now we're getting close. Now the next, almost last thing that I wanna do is take a real tiny pencil type brush that's gonna be sort of small, and I'm gonna go back in and define. This time I think I'm gonna go back with this On Toast and just define a little bit more of a crease, just so that my lashes have sort of a backdrop when they're open and somewhere to sort of land, if that makes sense. And then I'm just gonna pull that underneath. And again, this was the On Toast. That is a really pretty brownish color that I think would look good on a lot of different skin tones. And then I like to take that bottom color and just kind of take it up and flip it like that. And then I like to always make that a little bit softer because I just don't like that bottom line to look harsh or look like it's been sort of melting down my face. I'll just clean that up a little bit. Okay. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is go back to my concealer, and I always just try to clean that up. You know, back in the day, and I say back in the days if it was a long time ago, last year or so, maybe even 2019, when people were putting those tape marks, I just don't like to do that because I don't ever want to pull on my more aging skin. So I will just take usually a damp beauty sponge. And you know, I love these Real Technique ones. And you can either use it dry or wet for this step. And I just take it sort of at a straight edge as if you had tape there and make that nice line so that it really, your eyeshadow is going up at a sharp angle. And it just looks like you magically did that, but you really did it with a beauty sponge. And then that just gives it a nice cleaned up sort of edge to it. And I'll do it on this side too so you can see. So if you ever wonder, wow, how do they get that eyeshadow to that nice straight line? This is how they do it. And then I just take a little brush again. The other thing I like about this is it takes that concealer and it just takes the lightness of it up, so it sort of helps lift your face with that one little final step. Then it gives it a nice little blowout look, and then I'll just kind of go just to soften so that it doesn't look like a dead giveaway that I use like stencils. Stencils being highlighter. Okay, so now as I look at it, I think the one last thing I want to do is I'm going to go back into my palette, and when this is not the look at all I had planned, but it's coming together very nicely and just probably better than what I had planned. So I'm going to go with the full moon and just go right on the top of that lid from the corner to about halfway out, all the way to the crease and the lash line. So sort of the front half of my eye. I think that will just help pull those colors together. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you guys, this ColourPop has really good color payout. I have to say, there's not any fallout. None on my shirt, none on my underneath my eyes that I can see. So we're just gonna finish blending the top with this full moon, just to give it a little bit of a highlight right across the top. And again, you guys, for $22, 15 colors, I think is a really nice, a nice value, because these colors are really true to what they're showing in the palette, and they blend very easily. And of course, I still need to do lashes and some mascara and some eyeliner, but they blend really well. And again, I don't see a lot of fallout, so pretty impressed. And ColourPop has always been a good brand. I have had the experience. So let's go ahead and curl the lashes. And then I want to use this eyeliner, this gel, it's a gel eyeliner. And again, there's 3 of them, and I got more of this mauve color, which is called Trick or Treat. Oh, yay, cute. Trick or Treat. That's nice. I mean, if you think about the different colors in here, you could do a lot of different looks with this. Where you've got those mauves, you've got the neutral colors. So it could go with more fall clothes. It could go with like a nice Halloween costume. Some of these lighter colors could go nice in the summertime. So it doesn't have to be a, you know, a seasonal only palette. And if you love Disney, like, why not? All right, so I'm gonna use the Trick or Treat, and I'm gonna go just above the lashes, and I'm gonna try not to wing my liner because I always do, and it's just a habit. Oh, that's a nice soft gel liner. It glides on easy. It's not, you know, sometimes you get a gel liner and as soon as you use it, it's so soft that it just, you use so much product. This does not, that's not the case with this one. I'm gonna go a little bit, see, here I go again with that winged liner. Even though I say I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna try not to. And I just like to go a little bit from the outer corner and then just line and follow my lash line. Yeah, that's a really pretty liner. There was a green one, an aqua looking one that I thought would be really pretty that I almost got, and I had to stop myself because, I mean, you can only use so many liners at a time. And then we'll do this eye. Okay. I stopped myself from doing a wing liner. I think that's pretty impressive because you guys have watched me enough to know that I like a wing. I like a wing liner. Okay, so I think that looks good. I'm gonna add a little bit of this Trick or Treat just below the bottom lash line, and I'm gonna taper it so that it gets a little bit softer as I go to the bottom part of my pupil, and then just blend it. I'm not gonna take it all the way in, but just enough to give some shape or dimension to my under eye, because I don't typically wear mascara on my bottom lashes. I just think it pulls my eye down, and it may not, but I feel like it does, so I'm not gonna do it. And then I'm just gonna blend that out and give it sort of a smudgy look so that it looks like I meant to put it there instead of a hard pencil or pen mark. And it just, I think, helps soften the whole look and makes the eyeliner look much more purposeful versus I just put it there with a fresh pen, if that makes sense. And then I just like to take whatever's left on the brush and just go up in the corners so that, again, I'm just giving sort of this artificial lift to the eyes. Okay, now again, not fallout that I'm seeing, so hopefully you guys can see that as well. All right, let's go to lashes. Lashes are always so fun. For these lashes, we've got Boss Witch and Clever Witch. I wish this was like in real time, then you guys could help me decide which ones we want to go with, Boss Witch or Clever Witch. I think I'm gonna go with Clever Witch and save Boss Witch for the wedding. What do we think? I won't say that I'm gonna be wearing Boss Witch lashes in the wedding, because that just would feel weird. But they're just more fluffy and more long. So let's do this Clever Witch. So a couple things about lashes is you always want to cut lashes. They are a longer length, and so not everyone's eye is the same. So you definitely want to cut the lash that's gonna, you know, put it up to your lash and see what the right length is going to be. And then I always cut from the short end, so from the inside of what the lash is going to be. I don't cut from the out, because the outside is sort of that thicker, longer piece of the lash. So I like to cut from the shorter piece of the lash. You can kind of see that. And then make sure that you bend them really good and sort of get them out of their prefabricated shape, so there's a little bit of give to that band where the adhesive then goes. And then what I do is I just line that adhesive a little bit with my finger and a little bit of glue, and then I let it sit there for a minute, and I pay special close attention to the corners, because that's where you usually see the lift. And then I just let it air dry a little bit. Now, when you're putting lash glue on the lash itself, kind of think about the way that lash is gonna sit on top of your lashes. It doesn't necessarily sit on the bottom side. It's really more of the edge, the top edge of your lash, of the lash line that sits in your lashes. So make sure you put the glue in that right area. And then once it's a little bit tacky, then I just typically will look down and adjust it. And then wiggle it right into space. Sometimes I feel like I look from outer space. Wiggle it right into the place that you want it. And make sure that the edges are glued down. And it just gives it that nice little, oh, these are fun. I think these are a fun lash. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side, because you won't be able to really see it anyway. All right, so now that my lashes are on both sides, I want to go back with this Trick or Treat liner and just cover up the lash stick or the lash band. And so that if you're near somebody and you're looking down, they don't see that band so much, but they really see more of this sort of burgundy liner or whatever liner that you have. And then I'll just kind of finish that up a little bit more underneath my lashes, just to pull those two colors, or the two liner lids together, from my eyeliner up here and my liner down there. So I'll just connect those at the corner and pull them out a little bit. And then the last thing I will do before we move to lips is just do a little bit of a touch up with the mascara, and I am using the Essence Lash Mascara. I reviewed this recently in a drugstore dupes and was pretty impressed with it. And just pull the two lashes together, my lashes and the Clever Witch lashes. I really like the shape of those lashes. So it's a pretty dramatic look, which, you know, a little bit over the top, which I don't normally do, but I'm loving it for fall. And let's just go underneath. I never do this. Let's just do it. Let's just pull a look together today and get out of our comfort zone. All right. Oh, I like that actually. Okay, so then last thing we're gonna do is move to lips, and I'm gonna go with an old favorite, which is my L'Oreal 910. Which I know you guys have heard me talk about this, but I typically will go for, it's a more warmer color, and I think with these, not warmer, it's a more neutrally mauvey color, and I think with this shadow, this one will go really well. I'm gonna use the Burgundy lip liner from MAC, and I wanna go a little bit lighter on the lips because the eyes are dark today, and we'll just line the lips. Do you guys have fun putting new palettes together, new looks together with new palettes, or does it seem stressful? It used to, let's not talk and try to lip line at the same time. It used to be stressful, but now I find it like super fun because what's the worst that can happen? You just go wash it off and start over. And some of your best makeup days, aren't they, and are those days where you just had to throw it on really fast? So, you know, if you make a mistake, you just go throw it on really fast. All right. So a little bit of lip liner, blend that in. And then of course, going back to Shining Peach, over that burgundy lip liner from MAC. Okay, so far, so good. Oh, that's actually really pretty. Now, through the magic of television, I would probably put like this color shirt with it. Take it off the hanger. This is that All Saints sweater that was in the Nordstrom anniversary sale. I'm 5'8" and this is a medium if you're interested. But I think that would look really pretty and it would be pull together the whole look. I also do think that it matches okay with a nice neutral shirt. So I really love this look and I'm loving this palette. So I feel like I could recommend it. And I hope you guys are thinking about maybe picking up a new palette. And if so, Ulta had this. So I'll link it, all this stuff in the link below in the description box. But let me know what you think, if that's a good fall look. If you're gonna give it a try and play with some colors, I'd love to see what you guys, I cracked my knuckles. So I'd love to see what you guys do with this kind of a palette. So let me know if you've picked it up or if there's a new palette that's out on the market that you want me to give a try to and put some colors together with a look that you might wanna duplicate. So hope you like this. It was super fun to do. Get creative, have fun with it. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's that little red subscribe box right down below. Just click it so you'll be notified of a new video that comes out twice a week. So you don't want to miss it, especially as we get towards the holidays. There's some fun palettes coming up. I've already got my hands on a couple that I'm going to test, and then some really cute packages of beauty combos that are mixed together for either really good stocking stuffers or multiples that you can create individual stocking stuffers with just one or two products for multiple people. So excited to bring all that to you. So the notification button will show up in your phone if you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.